Oh, what a night.
It's time for reaction. Welcome in. Old school nerd.
Welcome in. My name is Old School Nerd. Thank you for coming in. like this video, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, notification bell, go to oldschoolnerd.com. It's got all of our social media posts. The Patreon channel for those who want to support the channel. And today there's a new video going live on Patreon that no one else will see because it's just for Patreon and the merchandise store. I need to talk about last night just for a second. I do apologize. I don't, if this kind of goes sideways or seems a little awkward, I'm sorry. I didn't sleep well. So last night for the D&D stream, we got invited to go to a fancy dinner party, which was a lie. I even wore my best Grateful Dead tie, and we never even made it to the party. We made it to the kitchen cages where a giant no-necked troll tried to cook us, but we escaped. And there were abyssal chickens running around, but at the end of all of it, there was some fat loot. Your boy walked away with an artifact bow. I mean, just diggy hole kid wound up with one of those deck of cards that if you pull cards, it's like The Price is Right, but all the prizes are shitty. So yeah, it's like that. It was a crazy night. I mean, we had a tornado warning. We lost power for a few minutes. We came back. Everyone was still there. Thanks, guys. All right, so go check that out on Old School Nerd Live. But for right now, let's get to some requests. We got a few to get through today, so let's go. Emily Nelson. Good morning, Emily. I have a song for you. Good. I have a channel to watch it on. You know the one. No, I really don't. I don't know the one. Okay. Oh, okay. Crack of Light by Vintersea. Well, that makes sense. Much more sense than getting me to guess whatever song you were thinking. All right, so here we go. The link to this video will be in the description below. Hope you enjoy it. And please, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get rolling. This is Vintersea, Crack of Light. M theory, interesting. Okay, question. Why is the girl all in white showing cosplay, role-playing Princess Amidala from episode 1? How to use a diaphragm. Discuss.
Waiting for the sun.
Magic.
Searching for the sea.
So she just did this right here. Half Disney's New Mulan meets The Handmaid's Tale meets Mad Max, The Road Warrior. Cool. For all the beautiful imagery that they're projecting here, there are some moments that really make me giggle. This is one of them. Okay. You see this guy right here? You see how he's looking at this dude? I know it's supposed to be like he's putting crosses in the ground, denoting graves. He's coming over here to give him a hand, like, you know, gonna be okay, dude. But when I see these two guys, and especially this guy's facial expression, why can't I only see Trailer Park Boys? You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, let's get to the let's get back to it. But okay, for all the quirky imagery, some of it is absolutely gorgeous. Some of it is like just some dudes standing out in the desert with they're not actors, they play musical instruments. And but for all the quirkiness of some of the imagery, the musicianship and the voices, the singing is just gorgeous. And this could be one of those kick back on the patio with a glass of tea or a cup of coffee in the morning and just watch the sunset, watch the sunrise in the morning. Yeah. Are they literally dragging that boat across the salt flats in Utah? The other thing that gets me is they didn't case the scene very well because they left car tracks. But I mean, it's not exactly easy. You'd have to avoid driving on an entire side of a salt flat to get the shot without it. So you got to give them some benefit. It's a music video, not a Jerry Bruckheimer waste of money production. This is not done easily unless they built wheels into it, and obviously I'm looking at it right here. They did, but you can see that there's a tire track here. So thankfully, their sacrifice to art was not absolute. That would have sucked so bad. 1, 2, 3, 5 guys would not have been able to pull this boat without tires. So the imagery is really, really good. You have to suspend disbelief when you see tire tracks and stuff. That's not the point. The point is the imagery is great. And more than anything, let us not forget that the lead singer of Vintersea, she has such a wonderful head voice that is ethereal. It's angelic. It is wistful. It seduces you with just the tone. And then, yeah, she'll go growly with it. You know? Really good. There were a lot of epic solos that I was planning on hearing. Wasn't planning on a sax one, but I'm into it. I do really enjoy that this guy's saxophone is hugely patinaed. It's not a glossy brass sax. It's got a damn near steampunk level of patina and coloring in it. Really kind of cool. for all the lack of ability in acting that all the guys have, right? They're not actors, right? They're not. They're musicians, and they can play beautiful music. They don't project visually beautiful anything else. The lead singer can act. She has the look. She can project all the different nuances in her performances. Very good at what she does. So even when she's just standing up here with look the face, she's got just despair in her eyes. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure which one of the wives of, I think it might be the bass player's wife, because you can almost tell, like, if she undid the braid in her hair, she would probably be like the wife or the sister of one of the band members. Kind of looks like one of them. But I see where they're using different, here's the tire tracks for the boat they're pulling. Put away everything that I make fun of in this video, because I'm going to do it. It's really early. I just started this coffee. I had a really shitty night last night. The stream was great, but everything before it and after it were very difficult. And I'm not at my best today. So I made some silly jokes and stuff. Ignore all the silly jokes and just kind of, let's enjoy the rest of this, because it's really freaking good. And as someone who loves jazz music, I'm totally down with the sax. Do not think that I'm going to give this the fact that there's a sax player in this thing going to bother me. No, I love that kind of stuff. Let's rock it. I'm sorry. I wanted to just listen to the song, but look at this dude's face and look at this guy's face. Wait, okay? It's perfect. By the way, the wooden top to this saxophone is everything, right? It's freaking everything. Saxophones break down into pieces. There's a central key part. There's the bell on the bottom. And then there's the curvature of the gooseneck. Okay, and normally those are brass. He's got one that's like some kind of mahogany or wood with inlays in it. Gorgeous. I caught that right off the bat. But what's going to get me is they're about to go into this super heavy metal part, and it's almost like these two guys look at each other like, whoa. It's almost like either they looked at each other and went, was that a saxophone? And they're in the band, they should know. Or they were like, oh God, we're going into this now? Watch their facial expressions. It's priceless. Watch. Look. Wait, what, bro? Look. Awesome. Oh no. Okay, I totally get the meaning of this video now. At first, there was some, I thought it was just kind of an ethereal thing, that they were trying to do some kind of theming that told a story, some kind of epic Norse tale of a dead sea or a sea without water as the pilgrims pulled, this Pilgrim's Progress with this evil empress, No, it's none of that. Essentially, this is what it is. Have you ever taken a trip with your mother-in-law? And she's in the back seat, and you're trudging down the highway, and it doesn't look like you're ever gonna get there, and she's complaining about everything, and all you've ever wanted to do was just take that old person, that the mother-in-law or your mom or your whiny sister or Aunt Edna. That's a National Lampoon's Vacation joke for those who are old enough to know. And you just want to stuff them in the trunk and say, just shut the hell up till we get there. Hey. To all my boys out there, y'all caught it. Y'all are like, absolutely. And then you look to see if your wife is watching or your mom is there. And you're like, no, that's not what I said, Mom. No, he didn't say that, Mom. No, ma'am. No, honey, not at all. I love it when you talk the whole time we go someplace. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and please tell me how to drive some more. Yes, yes. And I am sorry for going the wrong way. Yes, ma'am, I will ask for directions next time. Absolutely. Whatever you want, honey. Oh, this is so good. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Okay, if he had hit the overdrive on the pedal and he had put a distortion pedal in there and a crunch pedal and he passed it through a bypass and then changed the nodes on the amp, he could be doing an amazing metal solo right now. But he didn't. He broke it down to the guitar's original tone and played it through in a jazzy, just classic feel. And sometimes it's almost like a balance. We saw in this. I'm not making any more jokes about significant others, mother-in-laws, and stuff. That was because it was funny. This is serious. As much as I love the jazziness of the saxophone, they broke this down. You guys remember March on Versailles, right? Remember the song we did, and it was metal, but then they also did the acoustic version, and how much I love the acoustic version. That's where you're going with that. I can listen to that kind of music all day long. It's the purity of the tone of the musical instrument. They're not trying to push the metal sound. They could. Hey, that guitar solo would be amazing if it was amped up, passed through the amps, the pedals, and just wah! But no, they broke it down. And sometimes when you break it down like that, it adds a texture. It's a texture to the song that makes you connect. It balances it out between the lead singer doing her screaming earlier with that heavy push right after the saxophone. Now we're coming back to another rebalancing. Apparently Vintersea is all about the balance and really good. Back it up just a little bit. I know this is a really long reaction. We're like almost 20 minutes, but this song kind of deserves it to me because they're really kind of going in a place that I really enjoy. Let's go back and do this together. No more jokes about that, by the way. Let's focus on what's going on right here because it's really, really good. Just enjoy this. It's very Spanish, very Latin rhythm. It's also got a very good Italian style to it. It's just got that particular styling. A lot of people will hear that kind of tone and that staccato guitar behind it and that offbeat styling and think, oh, that reminds me of Spanish music. Okay, well, you find it in Turkish folk music. You find it in Italian folk music. You find it in Greece. You find it in Spain, Portugal, and then, of course, from Spain and Portugal, you find it all through Latin America and South America. Does it originally come from the Mediterranean, that northern Mediterranean area from Turkey and Damascus, Lebanon, and all the way through Greece, Italy, into Spain and Portugal, and down into Morocco? All of that. When you want to go to the heritage of that styling, you're going all the way back to the Phoenicians and that whole Mediterranean vibe culturally, in their cultural musical heritage, then translates into the Latin rhythms we see now in South America and Latin America. So they're taking it back to the original formation of it, which is very beautiful. I love it. It translates a lot in its destination, because that type of music is influenced all the way through music now, all the way to pop, but they're playing it in the cultural original folk style. Again, we talked about this. I love metal. I do. This is why I do metal reactions. But I do metal reactions because I've been out of metal for 20 years. While I've been out of metal for 20 years, I've been listening to stuff like this. So when I hear it on these videos, you will literally see my eyes glaze over, and I'll get lost. But because I'm a freaking idiot with a Grateful Dead tie on, and yes, it is a Grateful Dead tie. This one's called Doing the Rag, 7th set. So, yeah. I'm the idiot wearing a Grateful Dead tie. So how serious am I being right now? Wow. I almost made the joke when I saw this. If only there was a camel standing behind them right here, and the camel looks down at him and goes, "Guys, it's not an oasis. I just took a piss." And then I just saw the next part of it and immediately thought of last night's D&D stream. Same thing happened to me, bro. Last night in the stream. Check it out, Old School Nerd Live, the other channel. This right here happened to me last night. It was yeah, all of it, yeah. It's like, just get out of the boat. Get out of the boat. Not that hard. Also, again, the lead singer, she is multifaceted, talented in her voice. She can do the growl, she can do that wistful, ethereal head voice, and she's got power. She's a triple threat. And she's the only person in the video who can project in her acting. She's a quadruple threat, yeah. pretty damn awesome, man. Hot Carl Productions. Oh, check this out. In Oregon. See, most people when they think, okay, now for Michael Dietz and his son David, otherwise known as Diggy Hole Kid, they're both on the D&D stream. David was on last night. His dad's in Vegas. Don't ask questions. When you think of Oregon, what do you think? You think of flannel. You think of trees. You think of coastline. But you don't think of desert. But people will forget that the Rocky Mountains, the Sierras and the Rocky Mountains kind of run along the edge of Oregon. And everything west of it is forests and massive trees and coastlines and all that stuff you think about. But to the east of that mountain range is the desert area. Washington's the same way. People don't realize that stuff, but it really is like that. It's wow. Also, real quick, I don't know if it's here, but I do want to share. I don't know if I can even find it. It might be impossible to find now, but there was a part in here where it was the nighttime sky. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it was during this part. I'm just gonna let it play while we talk. Okay, so Vintersea is amazing musically. All the members of the band do a great job. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay, now, this is a time-lapse photo that they take, okay, of the sky. And they put a camera down, next to the boat, and they take a time-lapse photo so you can see as the Earth rotates at night, it looks like the stars are moving. Now, if you look closely, this is how much of a nerd I am. Ready? You'll see right here, there's a little blinky white light. Saw the blinky white light? Now, normally you would think, oh, it's an airplane. No, it's a time-lapse photo. In a time-lapse photo, an airplane would just be a streak across the sky because it's time-lapse. It's slowly taking a picture. But do you know what does move across the sky? That's slowly, but yet you can still see it with the naked eye if you're paying attention. No, not a UFO. Stop. No. Mid-orbit satellite. Okay. You have, this is where my nerd comes out, okay? I'm a satellite communications guy, okay? So there's low orbit. Low orbit stuff is the International Space Station and the Space Shuttle or SpaceX stuff now. Low orbit, okay? Very low orbit. And then you have what's called mid-orbit, okay? And then you have high orbit or geosynchronous orbit, okay? For those who want to know the difference, low orbit is the stuff you hear about from NASA, okay? Then you also have geosynchronous orbit, which is 25,000 miles into space. Now, geosynchronous orbit are the satellites that when they're up there, they never move. Why? Because they're moving at the same rate the Earth spins, and they're in orbits around the equator, all the way around the Earth. Those are your communication satellites, your GPS satellites, and of course, things like Sirius and Dish TV and all that kind of stuff, okay? So that's why when you go outside and you see DirecTV and the antenna sits there and it never moves, it's because it doesn't have to, because the satellite is geosynchronous. It's way the hell out there, 25,000 miles out there. So what happens is it doesn't have to move because the satellite moves with the Earth. Now, the one you saw in the video is called mid-orbit. That's surveillance satellites, weather satellites, spy satellites, and there's many different types, and mid-orbit ones are always on the move because they're mid-orbit. And as they move, they're tracked and they're used for whatever purposes they are. They're considered mid-orbit. And what you see right here is a mid-orbit satellite as it moves along the sky. So that was my old school nerd moment for the day. Oh, you know what? All the talking that I did, and I never really shut up the whole time, right? Because the last night, Vintersea, quality vocalist, amazing musicians, quirky video, but you know what? They pulled it off. They really did. It was really good. Is it 7 minutes good? No, you get a little stir crazy after a while, but This is the kind of song you could really enjoy sitting on the back patio with a cup of tea, morning, noon, afternoon, night, doesn't matter. Yeah, Vintersea. Hey, no kidding. Seriously, Emily, nice choice. Really.